It's been a while since we've been out here in Cross Creek West. I have a family that is looking to start a build out here, and I thought it would be a great time to step in here and show you what we got on inventory deals for some of you guys' favorite builders. Right now, we are inside of the beautiful Perry home that has a price drop that is about $100,000 less than the original price for this listing, and it's getting pretty close to the base price of this plan. And so whenever that happens, I'm on high alert about showing you guys a deal, and that is what we are doing today. So we're gonna start here, and then we're gonna work our way through the neighborhood and show you some homes that are on amazing deals. We're in Cross Creek West, out here in Fulshear, one of the fastest growing, one of the safest city suburbs in all of Houston. If that sounds good, stay tuned. All right, up first, we got Perry Homes on a 3095 plan, and they have done some upgrades to this one that make it a little bit more special than the base. And so as we're walking through, we'll talk about all that. First things first, shout out to my girl Sarai for letting me come in here and do my thing. And shout out to Perry Homes for always showing love, man, to a content creator like myself. And you just see that vibe. My goodness. Perry Homes is gonna do some things, man. They're gonna have wide corridors. Look at this. Secondary suite with a really nice sized little closet with a window in it. So now you're feeling fancy. Really good sized secondary room. Really, really good size. Not a true ensuite, but this is gonna be meant for this bedroom over here. Good deal. Slide on through. This would be your garage. Now over here, we are on the, I believe they're on 55s over here in Cross Creek. And so you're going to get a sweet spot for my channel in that it is a great move up family sized home where you get features like this actual separate, more formal dining. You're gonna get the tall ceilings. You're gonna get the grand family room, right? Once you get into that 55, 50 to 60 is probably a sweet spot for most families. And once you get above that, now we're kind of heading into what I would consider more dream home territory for most people, heading on over into Mansionville, so to speak. And so when people, specifically people outside of, or people local to Texas, because I'll say Perry Homes is probably a more Texas known name, when they start saying they like the feel of the super wide corridors or even having double doors on a 960 product, really tall ceilings, especially on 1-stories. Perry Homes is just really special when it comes to that sort of vibe, and they just do it at a high level, right? We got cabinets that wrap around, so even though that isn't the biggest pantry, it's bigger than what you would expect in most 50 to 55 footers. Formal dining, breakfast nook, and a nice sized living room is just, that is a combination that once you see something like that on a 50 to 55, you just feel like I can't go back. Right? Super nice. Oh, hold on. Now, for the people that have been following for some time now, what did I tell y'all? When you start seeing staging, and you start seeing epoxy, and you start seeing You start seeing blinds. You start seeing the stuff that is not in that based home. We in the money zone, okay? I done told you. We got an epoxy back. Now, let me go and check this garage just to make sure I didn't miss that in the garage, because if they did it in the garage, hey, we about to come up. Okay, no epoxy in the garage yet. Okay, so they ain't there yet. We had a regular discount for now. But now that I see how this is framed, maybe that is that little bonus space that they added to this house that we'll get to. But again, wall of windows not only in main family room, look at the wall of windows in your primary, right? Again, just feeling the grandness that you get. And once you get to a product that is this size, you start getting the bigger baseboards. 8-foot doors are standards on the first floor. I think they go back to normal once you go back upstairs to like 6'8", something like that. But out the gate, man, it is just a really nice size. Now, this home was originally priced at like $640, I want to say. So I'll pull that out once we wrap up here in a little bit. Shower with the bench. Tile going all the way up to the top. Black hardware. They've done some upgrades in here, right? Standalone tub. They didn't hit you with the drop-in. Now, some of that is likely a testament to this being an extension of a super popular neighborhood, the OG, Cross Creek. And so there's a standard of the people now that we have moved west that they're going to expect that same sort of vibe, right? Some of that is competition. You have some of Houston's favorite builders in the whole metro here. You got your Newmarks, you got your Highland, you got your Westins. You got all the people. And so when it comes down to cutting a corner, it's gonna be something that you're not gonna wanna do here because you have so much competition. For the Peekaboo crew, that's pretty cool. I like this sight line. You can pretty much see dining, see whoever is making that fabulous meal. If you come on this side, you can see the TV, and you can see your beautiful double doors on this one. I like how this was framed out, and it's actually crossed me over because you got rooms over here. I thought for sure that the media room was going to be on the other side, but it looks like I was wrong. All right, so they got this as the TV wall. That's a little bit different than I would have expected. I probably would have put it on this wall, but then maybe that would have been weird with the door being behind you. Good sized game room. And I love a catwalk. I love when Perry does that. I also love, so see, okay, so I'm not tripping, right? So we got enough room for a bedroom behind here and something back there that they're not even showing us. Yep. All right, so they got that locked on this one. So this is just gonna be a standard little secondary bedroom. Doors come back to about normal. Still a good sized closet though, really tall. So you could do a little closet system to get you all the way on up. We did not have the tiles go all the way up on this one, but again, upgraded black hardware, upgraded countertops. And this room is really cute. I love when builders do the little eyeball windows up top. I think it's just interesting. And then we got another closet on this. So one of the things that kind of comes up with Perry, and that is Perry has probably too many plans, right? Because they've been here so long, and I would say they do a fairly good job of, having a plan that fits whatever your needs are. And so if you needed this as a 5-bedroom, they may not be able to do it on this plan, but I say that as I look at all this attic space over here, saying that they probably could do it on this plan. But because they have so many plans, you might just have to get the 3123 plan, just throwing that number out there, to get this configuration, media room, office, double bedrooms, all that stuff, right? And so I think that although they don't have the full customization eye that some of your favorite builders may have, I think that they have so many plans that, depending on your budget, you got to be able to afford it. But depending on your budget, you could truly get pretty much whatever layout you want. It's just going to come down to the constraints of what that foundation and the size of that lot will allow in the neighborhood. Because if they're a 55-foot product over here, they are probably capped to not be able to go as big as, let's say, a Westin 60 or a Highland 60 over here, okay? So there's gonna be limitations to that. There's gonna be a little bit of overlap, but not a ton. And so I would imagine that a lot of these stay in that, like, they'll stop at probably like 34 to 3,500 square feet, whereas you're gonna see a lot of those Highland and Westins that are a little bit bigger go to, let's say, your 37 to 4,000 this kind of square feet is probably where you'll see. And so with that, you have to kind of keep that in mind, that even if you don't quite love this one, or if you say, I need something else on this one, Perry Homes likely has a plan for you. And if it's not here and on their website, I've built a few where we've pulled plans from neighboring communities that would actually fit. They just have to do a request to the developer, make sure that everything is cool with the parameters that they have for their section, and that it is allowed to fit. Once they have that squared away, if you're willing to pay the difference, they're willing to do it. Okay. So original stats on this is the 3095W. Original pricing was $615, and they now have it down to $525. Okay. So that is almost $100K drop on a house that has good upgrades. We got hardware, we got upgraded range hood, we have the two-tone cabinetry, which is kind of a more upgraded custom feel. We got appliances in cabinetry, you got fireplace. This isn't an oversized back patio, you got an epoxied patio. We got a gas line out there. It's a double front door, so you got an elevation that gave you that width off of your front entry. Movie room, which is gonna typically be an add of about 15 to 20,000 because it changes the pitch of your roof line and it has to reconfigure some of your HVAC, water lines, plumbing, and stuff for your AC, right? So they put some money in this house, okay? If you went to Sarai and asked, can I build this thing exactly the same as this one? You're gonna probably be in the sixes, right? That's why they had it priced. Why they had it priced how it was priced originally is because that's what their base price plus land plus upgrades that they put into it. Obviously on these inventories, they'll probably put usually about 20 to 30 grand into it. That extra movie room, probably juice that up to about that 60 mark. And so you add all that up, gotta pay for the land, gotta pay for the house, gotta pay for the upgrades. That's where they were originally, being almost 620, okay? And so this is a steal. When you can get upgraded house like this that gives you all the spaces that you would want, office, media room, 4 beds, nice size patio, decent yard, not in a terrible lot. You got a 1-story behind you so people can't really see into your yard for real. That is a secret little perk, right? This would be different if these were 2 stories, but these people can't really see in your backyard, man. And so you got a little privacy fence without paying for the privacy. And that's just little hidden nuggets of a secret little bonus that you get with a house like this. But to be 100K off in a neighborhood like this, that is an extension of the OG, where it's so well respected. There's so much going on along 1093. The commercial that has happened since the last time I was out here is crazy. I think that this is just a great neighborhood, and I'm not shocked, because my family that reached out to me to want to build out here came from a video that was like 6 months or more older. And I said, hey, that's enough for me to get back out here and do a little update. We got a little traction, right? So this is a beautiful neighborhood. You got the OG community right around the corner. You got Pecan Ridge around the corner. You got Tamaron around the corner. You got, what was that, Jordan Ranch. You had the old Young Ranch. You just got so much around here that's gonna bring Fullbrook. You got so much around here that's just gonna bring attention and commercial support over here that it's hard to pass up when you get something like this. Because I know for a fact that even in my neighborhood of Meridiana, that is one of the cheapest neighborhoods that you could buy a luxury builder in. You can't get a house that is this big for $524. Can't do it. Wish I could. Wish I could, but I can't even do it. I'm good, but I ain't that good, even in Meridiana. So I know that this is a deal, and I know that if you're looking out on Cross Creek, we need to go and give my girl Sarai a look. Now, this is an important question that I got for y'all as supporters of the channel. I get hit up all the time for inventory that is in progress like this, right? And so a couple of them today, for example, I was gonna show you a couple Highlands today, but by my standard of what I think y'all actually like, it was a little bit too ugly. But I don't think I've ever asked y'all, do y'all want to see stuff when it's actually just kind of like framed up and still in progress? Is that beneficial to you? I know from a buyer standpoint, if you catch it kind of ugly, that's where actually most of my deals happen, is when you catch them kind of ugly before they've finished out and you put a contract on them. That's where some of the sweetest deals are in the metro, right? But from a standpoint of a viewer of the channel, supporter of the channel, is this something that you would actually like to see? Hit me down in the comments. Let me know if that's something that you would be interested in, because that would open up a lot more things that aren't as repetitive. If I'm showing you, like, for example, Weston has 2 brand new plans here that I'm just like, should I show them because they're just so ugly and the house is so not ready? And I'm saying today, no. But if y'all let me know in the comments, or y'all shoot me a text or shoot me an email and say, hey, I want to see the ugly stuff. If you do that, I would have no problem coming back and adding some stuff that is in progress to the channel. Like I said, I just didn't want to make that assumption anymore. Let me actually ask y'all, because y'all been rocking out with me for so long, or however long you have been. Is that too ugly? Do you want to see it all dolled up with the side and the walls and the cabinets? Can you focus on the layout that I'm pointing out to you if it's not finished? Or are you ready to see some ugly stuff? All right. Up next, we actually have a footprint that has been killing for me over the last, I would say, 6 months. This Westin like 45 has been crushing. Okay, and I think you can see some of the elements of why that is happening already, right? But we're gonna take this in and we're gonna talk numbers, and then we'll talk all the important stuff that you care about, right? All right, but first things first. We got this front bedroom that I would probably use as an office. We got this really big bathroom in here. And I would have probably been like, hey man, give me a little bit more closet. Give your boy a little bit more closet. But then you come into this grand, just lovely grand entrance. And you got your spiral staircase. You got the classic rotunda that Westin gives you, that y'all have traveled far and wide for to come see. Oh, you get an office. Hey, well, keep that as a bedroom then. Hey, I think I know. All right, they got the garage. That would be your garage, two-car garage. All right, so we got that bedroom and an office cooking up so far. And then you got this. And again, some of my critique with our house that is technically a 45 that can be manipulated to be a 45 or a 50-foot product is about where that light is or starts to slope down towards the back of the house. I love when a home that's actually trying to give you the big home glam just keeps that same elevation of that ceiling the whole way through. It just makes the house feel that much huger when you do that. Beautiful. All right, so we have a pretty upgraded kitchen. Over here looks like we have an upgraded range hood. Now again, in some of the other neighborhoods that I've been selling these, that's not the case, right? Some neighborhoods, the standard is a microwave. Some neighborhoods, the standard is a push-in or a drop-in, not a drop-in, a push-in freestanding, Lord, am I hungry? Freestanding range, right? And so when you start getting into some of the nuances of some of the upgrades over here, I don't want you to assume that that is the case for everywhere, because it is not. I've sold a couple of these that had microwave right here. I've had a couple of these where you had 2 ovens in here. I've had a couple of these where you had the push-in stove range top over there. I've had a variety of these depending on the neighborhood that you're in. I think the beauty about being over here, however, is that because this is an extension of one of the most popular neighborhoods in the Fulshear area, you're getting the benefit of the Cross Creek clout that comes with being in that system, okay? And so some of this stuff is gonna be prettier. I'm gonna expect, and what I have seen so far is upgraded finishes, upgraded patios. You're usually seeing extensions. You're seeing, I haven't seen a house today. I haven't filmed everything that I've seen today, but I've looked at, and all of them had gas spigots in the back. Some even had outdoor kitchen prep for the water in the back. And so there's some things that are coming in these inventories that may not be the case in other neighborhoods. But if you're looking over here, we got some pretty stuff, okay? But yeah, range hood, we got the tile going up to the top. I would have loved if they would have just finished that tile all around. I think that would have been that last little chef's kiss. But I think this is gorgeous enough for, and again, connected to your primary. We're gonna see it from the other side. Y'all know I don't like cutting through. For those of y'all that ain't new, y'all know I ain't cutting through. We need the minutes. So we're gonna walk around. But this one has become one of my favorite, like 45, 50 slash products for them, because it threads a line where it's way bigger than I think it plays. And somehow they are allowed to like get away with being basically a 50 to 55 foot wide house in a 45 foot section, okay? They were able to do that in Sienna. There's a couple other neighborhoods where I've been selling these. They're able to do that in, what's the other one? I just sold some. Green Prairie. They're kind of doing this same sort of thing where they're skirting the line of, are you a 50? Are you a 55? Are you a 40? Like they kind of doing some things over there as well. And this is one of those plans. Another neighborhood that I sold one, Colton, is another neighborhood where I started to see this plan kind of take off. This is the Fifth Avenue. I believe it was Fifth Avenue 2 or 3. Yeah, Fifth Avenue 2. And so this is almost a 3,000 square foot, 45 foot product. That's a huge 45 foot product, right? And so when you can get 2 bedrooms and an office down, and then other bedrooms and maybe a media room, it looks like I'm seeing a peekaboo of a media room behind me. That is cool, because again, for the price of under 500,000, that's incredible to be able to get all that. Again, bringing it back like I do often to my neighborhood of Meridiana, that is a big luxury community that has a wide variety of builders, that has homes in this size footprint. If you built a 2850 square foot home in Meridiana with Highland, with Perry, with Newmark, if you did any of those things, you're gonna be over 500,000, and that is in one of the most affordable neighborhoods in the metro. So again, we got a steal over here if you're looking on this side, okay? But super tall windows. It's kind of a muggy day outside, and it still feels really cool in here. I know that's one of the questions that I get from some of my people that are from other places is, hey, with all these tall ceilings, does it feel kind of hot and stagnant in here? And my response is, nah. If they got it balanced right, it feels great. Let's check out your back patio just so you can see say you saw it. I love when they do a 2-story back. That's a feature that you see more common on, again, they're 60 foot models and bigger. Crazy, man. That to me, that is crazy. Like whenever I'm all about spending the bread, right? Spend the bread on things that you want, right? If you want it, it's your bread, spend it. But my job as like your advisor is not to get in the way of whatever that dream is, but to give you just a thought of, okay, for spending this extra 50,000, am I getting that much joy in return, right? And if the answer is no, my secondary follow-up question to that is, can you be just as happy in something that is less expensive? Every time. I do that all the time. I'm going to show you the cheaper alternative. I'm going to give you something that kind of balances out some of the dreaming that we do, because again, I'm looking at this from a standpoint of your investment long term. And if we can get you in something that you're comfortable in that is cheaper, let's do that, right? The difference between the last house that we saw and this one is probably about 400 square feet. The price difference is probably about 40 grand. Does that other house feel, although that Perry home is wider and feels larger, does it feel 40K larger to you? That's the question that I ask when we're out here touring, okay? Only you can answer that. Only you can tell me whether or not it's worth several $100s more a month. Only you can do that. You're gonna pay that bill. Don't hit me up after the fact talking about it's too high, because I've asked you, right? But that is the thing that I'm asking you while we're out here, to think about this and say, maybe this almost 3,000 square foot Westin ain't that bad, right? You come in here and then you get about the same size shower as that 60 foot that we were just in. Now that one had a little bench in it, but this primary bedroom is legitimately about the same, primary bathroom rather, is legitimately about the same as where we just were. Got split vanity, standalone tub, make ready station, right? 2 separate closets. Y'all seeing the trend, right? Cutting on through to a connected laundry, which is a 60-foot feature, right? So that's what I'm all about, man. Showing you good options. This one is, like I said, just shy of 500. It was originally listed at like 530. Still not bad as a starting place, but they've come down to a place, and I think this one's probably gonna go fast, right? Let's go on up the stairs and see what the rest of this house has in store for us. Got that rotunda. Good sized little game room flex space over here. Really good size for the Peekaboo crew. Come on over and peek, baby. That's a beautiful view. Beautiful. Got a little bit of game room. I don't mean to play it. You got a media room. Technically, you have a media room. You could black out the curtains. Doors closed. I would feel good about this being a little bit of a media room. I would. I'd be proud of my little man cave. Okay? Now, is it the biggest? Nah, not the biggest. I ain't gonna lie to you, it's not the biggest, but you can say that you have one, right? That means you can market it in the future, right? Good size room over here. The one drawback that I've had with these client-wise, and it hasn't been an issue for them because all of my families that have kind of swung for the fences to get something like this have been very young families where the kids aren't big at all. They're 5 and under, 6 and under. And so the closets have been a little bit more trying because, you know, if you got shoes or you got a bunch of toys that you're trying to hide and kind of keep out of view, it's gonna be tough to hide and keep those out of view. You'll have one closet basically upstairs that's a nice size like this one, and then the rest of them are kind of gonna be that galley style closet, right? And then the secondary point is bathrooms. If you got kids that aren't really the best at sharing, almost all inventories that I've seen for Westin over the last at least year or so have basically done the Jack and Jill, but that's gonna be the same basically for Perry as well. The only builder that I would say consistently on inventory will have more en-suites than both of the people that I've shown today is gonna be Westin Homes. They are pretty much consistent with giving you that number of beds, have the same number of baths, and a a little bit of a flex half bath down. They are pretty consistent with doing that. But everybody else is gonna basically make you share, okay? But yeah, man, that is a beautiful layout. 2 beds, office down, love that. 2 beds, media room, flex space up, love that, right? This again was a 5th Avenue, right at 2,800 square feet. This one is currently at 502, so misspoke earlier, 502. And it was originally at right around 530. Okay, so they did a little bit of drop, and I do think that this one is gonna go fast. This is a pretty plan. This solves most people's move up. If you had that entry level city home like we did, that's in that 15 to 1,700 square feet, you're gonna walk into this and feel like, oh my God, I have made it. If you are one of those people where you wanna be in the burbs, you wanna keep the cost down, you wanna get something really nice that gives you that wow factor of still, man, I made it. First time home buyer, you're moving from that original KB home, that original entry level, you're stepping up into a luxury kind of price point and feel and neighborhood. This is gonna be who this is for, okay? And I think my girl, Ms. Dondra over there, said that she had a couple more that she wanted me to show. And she gave me the keys to the city. So we're gonna go and check out those. The other ones that she marked were 5th Avenue. She marked a Park Avenue that she said I have to go and see. So I'm gonna go check that one out. And then we'll see if the other ones are ready for us to showcase as well. But yeah, thank y'all for rocking with me. Keep it on. We got a couple more to go and check out. All right. Up next, we have another Westin Home 45. Let's see. I know that ain't what I think it is. I know that ain't what I think it is. I know that ain't what I think it is. All right, for the family that has been here for some time now, what does this mean? We got plates in here. What does this mean? That means they are sick and tired of holding this house. Okay, we don't have epoxy in here, but they're gonna keep adding furniture in here till y'all buy it, right? I know that ain't what I think it is. We just talked about this from the other one, right? So, hey man, that epoxy came out on the Perry. They trying to get up off that thing. Finally got some internet service back here. The base price on that Perry plan, the very first one that we looked at, is $560. So that house is currently $40,000 under base price. Okay, let's get back to this house though. Now I think this one is the Manhattan, maybe. I think the Manhattan just has the 2 beds down. I don't know if it has that office space, if I remember correctly. I think the Manhattan is, let me just shut up and enjoy the house with you. I think it's about the same size. That's gonna be your garage. But I don't remember it having a office down. But let me see, child. Let me see if I need to shut on. Yeah, it doesn't. Okay. So connected to your primary. Again, as somebody that builds a lot of these, a lot of houses with a lot of builders, this is like a level 2, level 3 countertop that's upgraded. We got hardware. We have range hood. We got in-cabinet appliances coming. They got some stuff in here. They put some money in here. We got the staging, dining room, and family room. They put some money into it. They're trying to get up off it, okay? But yeah, some of the same bones That's why that last plan has been so popular for me over these last couple months. Let me see. Yes, this is a Manhattan plan. It's also good to kind of see what you can do. So I thank y'all for staging this one so I can show people how to set this one and the last one up. TV would be, I don't know why they actually have a TV plug on that wall, but I would definitely use it on this wall. Again, just on a 45 to get something that's almost 3,000 square feet that does this thing. That's hard to beat, man. And we'll talk about pricing once I show you the rest of this beautiful home. Got a little half bath back here. So for the people that you're entertaining downstairs, they don't have to go into somebody's bedroom to use their bathroom. They got their own. Two-story back patio. Gas again. Decent little side yard. Sprinklers. Now you got the bum end of the stick getting big old transformer and that in your backyard, but hey, that might be some of the reason why you get a little bit more of a discount on this one, right? Good size room, enough for a king. But that's pretty much gonna be everybody's primary. Everybody's primary is gonna basically make it worth your while. In the primary bedroom, it's the secondary bedrooms and closets that you gotta kind of keep an eye on. Oversized standalone tub. Dual vanity. Good size shower. Again, upgraded towels and things throughout. Good size closet. Again, connected to your laundry. Again, that's just super thoughtful, man. That's something that is again, much bigger home feature. And when you can get that on something like this, I think that's when you start to get into something that looks and feels very special. And for people that haven't maybe seen this plan or haven't really given the 45 and 50, because we didn't even see the 50s. None of those were 55s. None of those were even ready. When you start seeing a product like this, whenever you see a 45 as an option and you're into 2 stories, go look at them things. Because again, this matches up space and functionality wise with a lot of 50 footers from some builders, okay? All right. Back into it. We're in a Westin, so you already know. They coming with that rotunda. Peekaboo crew. All right, so room is about the same size, but they moved it. So I wonder if they're gonna either add a bedroom or something else, because in the other one, this was over in this little space. So I'm curious. Yeah, you add another bedroom. So for the people that were like, oh man, can I get an affordable 5-bedroom in a nice community? Yeah. What's crazy is it's in a 45. That's the crazy part. I'm not tripping. Yeah, bed down, bed there. You lost your office. That's what it was. You lost your office. And you got another bedroom up top. So is that worth the trade for you? I think most people would probably go for the previous option. But if you've been out here and you got more kids than that, if you got more than 1 or 2 kids, you probably want to go with this as a 5-bedroom option, because the conversion on attic space to try to make a bedroom would just probably not be worth it to your warranty. And I'm all about getting my guy Julio, or whoever your Julio is, to do work after the fact that makes more sense, especially on a Westin. You have like 0 customization on Westins. If you catch them ground up, and like this attic is full, you can't do nothing with this, right? So if you're going a Westin route, I would 1000% look at this as great bones. This is a great base for a home that you can make your own and grow into over time. Westin is probably one of the best of doing that, of giving you the space. They're not gonna wow you with the finishes all the time. In this one, they did a really great job. They picked some pretty things that I have people that build homes with different builders, and they pick this same level of cabinetry and countertops and flooring. So I know that these have a price value that is over standard, right? But all in all, this is a great base. Westin is one of the best at giving you a great base, no matter what the footprint is. And they seem to have a cheat code where they can kind of like get over on how big their houses can be in any section. Like even in my neighborhood of Meridiana, they'll have a 50-footer that's like the size of some 60-footers. In Siena, they had some 45s that were the size of some 55s. And where was that other one? In Grand Prairie, same thing. They have some 45s that are the same size as like 55, 60s. They have, I don't know how they do it. I don't know what kind of deal they've made with all these direct developers over the whole Houston Metro, but they seem to have the cheat code. This one was originally $520. And it looks like it's been probably done for a while, because our little telltale sign of distress is in here, right? It is currently listed under $5. We're at $495 on this one. So they've only dropped, man. They've only dropped like, what's that, 20K? They haven't dropped much, but maybe it's just been sitting for what they thought they put in here. Because I would say, in my opinion, some of the finishes in here are a little bit prettier than the one that we just left, even though I like that layout more. Some of the finishes in here, like the upgraded banisters, that's an upgrade. I know that hardware fixture up there is an upgrade, right? This floor is a little bit more upgraded than their standard. The one that's a little bit more standard looks a little bit like darker brown. It's just not as pretty. And I know that this kitchen is upgraded, right? So they put some good money into this thing, and they're staging it. So they're saying, they're screaming to the mountaintops, come take this off my hands, please. And with that, that's where I step in, right? And I lean on the contracts that I have with Westin, with Perry, over the marketplace, and I can say, well, in this neighborhood you gave me X, and in this neighborhood you gave me Y. My clients need this house, you want to sell this house, let's make a deal and meet somewhere in the middle where it works for all of us, right? And so I think that inventory is going to always be the go-to. If this ain't your forever home, inventory. There's very few people that I would actually suggest going all out and just building a really massive home. Very few people. That's for people that aren't really as impacted by everything going on in the world right now. Those are for people that have a ton of equity and a ton of liquid assets that they can just pull from and not really be tripping on. That's who building is really for in this current market. And I think most of the builders understand that. And so you're starting to see builders like Westin give you a much prettier product. You're starting to see people like Perry do some upgraded things that they wouldn't do because they know that they have a much better chance getting in and maybe dialing down some of the pretty of it, but giving the space and selling that thing inventory versus waiting on someone to come and pay the highest of interest rates that the market has and spend the premium on the lot, the finishes, all the structure and all the things, okay? And so I think the luxury builders are catching on that they need to just do pretty inventories that give you the space. And when you're in a neighborhood like this that has so many builders that you're competing with, I think that is a byproduct of what you get and what you see in a home like this, okay? But this was a great video, man. I had some fun today. Again, hit the comment section and let me know if you guys are actually into seeing stuff that isn't quite as prim and proper and in pristine condition. If you want to see some of the plans that it happens often where somebody's like, oh man, I would love to see a Highland Homes 224 plan. And I look everywhere online and they got them in progress, but they're like 2 or 3 months out, right? At certain points, you could probably see it where it's all framed or where it's drywalled or whatever the situation is, but it's not quite ready. And oftentimes, if you're in a hot neighborhood, if you're living somewhere that's super popular, where some of these plans are, by the time it's finished, that thing is sold, and then we lose that opportunity to see it. So hit me in the comments and let me know if you would like to actually see some stuff that is actually in progress, not quite all done up. Lastly, you've been watching this video now for damn near an hour. I want to be your resource. I legit have built relationships with people all over the metro. I got a couple people here that I've worked with. We got Sarai, we got my guy Manny with Highland, we got my friend Ms. Dondra with Westin. All of these people that I have worked with, and that does nothing but lead to savings for you, whether that's extra closing costs, whether that's extra design center money, whether that's blinds, whether that's appliances. Whatever is the best scenario for you, you are more likely to get it using someone like myself that has contracts where they can look up and the directors send that sales contract. When the salespeople send that sales contract to the director and they see my name, and this is not a flex, but it kind of is. If they see my name, they're like, oh, Aaron, yes. That happens often with Perry, with Highland, with Westin, with Newmark, with Toll. They see the name and they've seen it enough. They know that I bring serious people to them and that I'm not a headache. And that is worth its weight in gold, because if you need that extra little bit of sauce, I would say on average right now, I'm probably getting my people somewhere between 15 and 20,000 extra in incentive just throughout the metro on builds. With some builders, that's even higher. Like if you go Highland in my neighborhood, we probably even over that. We're probably closer to 30. But throughout the metro, it happens often where somebody will be like, hey, yeah, we stopped by. This person reaches out to me, the sales counselor reaches out to me, and they've already talked to their manager, and they're just like, hey, if you can get it, we'll give them X, just because they're your people. That happens all the time. And if you come without me to look, that's cool. But I'm telling you, if you start signing a contract and you haven't hit me up and you haven't looped me into it, I'm gonna be 100% honest with you and say, you probably left some money on the table. Now, every neighborhood is different. Some neighborhoods are hotter than others. Some neighborhoods are down bad, and we can probably get you a Ford Focus on top of, whatever they're gonna throw at you if they're doing bad, right? But I would say on average, and you can look at the reviews, you can look and you can and reach out to past clients if you can find a way of people that I've posted, right? You can reach out to them and say, hey, did Aaron help with your transaction? Did he get you any more? Did he bring you less stress? Was he beneficial to it? And they'll all tell you yes, bro. I don't be out here just capping and lying on people. I really have built these relationships. I strive to keep my name in a good spot. So when you walk around in any model home that I show on this channel, you can be like, I'm with Aaron, and they treat you like Aaron is with you, okay? But we had some deals today. We got some people that's ready to offload some stuff. So if you're looking in the Fulshear, what's it, Lamar Consolidated ISD, tax rates in the low 3s, nothing crazy, extension of the OG. If you're looking out in Fulshear, I'm your guy. If you're looking up north, out in Colton, we out there as well. If you're looking out in Artavia, we out there as well. No matter where you're looking, whether you're looking in my neighborhood, Meridiana, I name drop them so much, come on down. If you're looking out in Creek Haven, got them there as well. If you're looking out in Ellison, got people there as well. I'm all over the map trying to be a resource for you. But if this neighborhood isn't the one, hit me up, book a call, shoot me a text. The best way is probably gonna be the QR code that you've probably seen 20 times on this video now. Scan that, book a call so we can get locked in on your goals and your needs for your family's home. And I just wanna be that resource for you. But if you liked this video and you like this size and style of home, I absolutely know you're gonna love this video right here.